Hey, they're oddballs. In the paranormal news, we have Irish Ghostbusters who caught the image of a famous ghost. And the mystery of Nessie might soon be solved, sooner than we thought, as the lock is drying up and we are having an easier time getting readings. In the Cryptic Corner this month, we'll be putting on another coat of skin, so to speak. That's right, we're talking skinwalkers. And tonight's special guest is right haunted and spooky Newfoundland. If it's odd to you, friend, it's odd to Newfoundland.
It's the odd to Newfoundland. Ghostly greetings from your host, Jonathan. Mysteries, ghosts, monsters and lore. East Coast esoterica and so much more. If it's odd to you, friend, it's on the Odd to Newfoundland.
Ghostly greetings from the oldest city in North America. I'm your host, John Mallard, bringing you the best in East Coast esoterica. You, my friends, have stumbled upon the On the Newfoundland Paranormal Podcast. Welcome to episode 148 of your monthly paranormal variety show, which means 7 years in your ears have transpired. Happy anniversary to me and to all my listeners. Is having you here is better than the ice cream man going up and down the road or having a pool in your backyard. Why? Because you're wonderful, a masterpiece, beautifully made, important to people because you're important to me. Highly favored by your creator. Where the law of averages and physics working in tandem, you, my friend, are an oddball. And on this show, your family, and we are one. 7-year anniversary show, new house, new studio. Guys, it's all new, but yet somewhat familiar. Thank you for these last 7 years and being the part of my life that I can actually depend on happening every single month at the same time. You know, there's always so much stress when we pack up our stuff and move an entire home. It's not like a camping trip that is like a little bit of stress and you leave. Like this is like a month-long venture, super stressful and hard on everyone. Oh man, really tough on my family. But the good news is it's over now. I've got a beautiful new studio. I've got a beautiful, just everything I ever wanted. It's an office, it's a gym, it's everything. And I'm hoping that it sounds pretty good in here. Might take me a little while to get the sound figured out, but Laurel knows will sound way better thanks to Accusonus anyway, who is our sponsor, of course. Also, tonight's guest is super awesome. She's actually I call her the head chef, so to speak, over at Haunted and Spooky Newfoundland's Facebook page. And this thing got 10,000 people on it, and it's full of ghost stories. So I think you guys are going to really like hearing from her and getting to know her a little bit. We'll talk Skinwalker later on. And, of course, almost time for the paranormal news. But before we get into that, before we go paranormal newsing, I've got some shout-outs to make. That's right. I got to make out my monthly shout-outs. And thank you to all these people who subscribe to the show on the Podbean app. If you subscribe to the show on the Podbean app, you will unlock the horrible parajoke of the show. And let me tell you, this show's parajoke is absolutely rotten. So here it comes. Thank you very much, Tyler G. Thank you, Wally. Thank you, Contact GMO 2828. Thank you, Meow Smith. Thank you, SR Lumen. Thank you, Tom's Nut. Thank you, Reed 911. Thank you, Captain Reb. Thank you, Bubble. Thank you, Teroxin 66. Thank you, Letty Ciazaretto. Oh, I think I butchered that one worse than when I made fish the other day. Sorry about that, Letty. But thanks for subscribing anyhow. Oh, a Fearscape Pod, another paranormal podcast out there, actually subscribed to the On the Newfoundland this month. Thank you so much, gang, guys, gals, or whatever you identify as over there. Maybe your spirits, who knows. But thanks for the support. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that follow button right now and follow you right back. And last but certainly not least, thank you so much. Morning Dew Glistens. Thank you guys so very much. These names are getting crazier, but thanks so much for being a part of all this and subscribing to the show on the Podbean app. And of course, for unlocking the horrible paranormal joke of the show. Here it comes. Whether the monster's mom knit him 3 socks. She heard he grew another foot. Boom-ts. Like, I get a kick out of these. I think they're great, but I like terrible movies. I feel the same way about campy movies as I do about crappy jokes. Okay, one more. What game do monsters like to play? Hide and shriek. God. I don't know why you all keep subscribing. I think you just want to torture me with these horrible jokes. Anyhow, folks, I hope your summer's finding you well. I hope you're staying cool here in the States. Man, oh man, what a crazy heat wave on the go over there. Love all you guys. Thanks so much for all your support. You know, right now, I just want to tell everybody that I'm very, very thrilled with this episode. But, you know, I think in light of recent happenings and stuff like that with the Indigenous people here in Canada, I kind of feel it's probably best not to celebrate Canada Day this year and probably just recognize them. And I'm going to do so by talking about skinwalkers. And I'll get a little bit into that too in the Cryptid Corner later on in the show. Anyhow, guys, gals, on with the paranormal news.
Somewhere between the funnies and the obituaries is, oh yes, the paranormal news.
Irish paranormal hunters have captured the ghostly image showing the spirit of William Duckett. This is a very interesting story. A prominent Irish ghost hunting group have shared images of what they believe to be the ghostly spirit of Mr. Duckett. The image was captured on the site of Duckett's Grove, once the house of the Carlow man. The Duckett ancestry can be traced back to Richard Duckett, the lord of the manor of Fillingham, Lincolnshire, England, in 1205, who was judge and magistrate in the counties of Bedford, Buckingham, Cambridge, Huntingdon, Norfolk, Northampton, and Rutland in the reign of Henry III. They were a very famous family in Great Britain, being descended from the Norman and Plantagenet kings, and the lineally descendants of William the Conqueror and King Edward I. Belonging to the Duckett family, the house was formerly the focal point of a 12,000-acre estate and dominated the local landscape of the area for more than 2 whole centuries. So there you go. So make no wonder he wanted to come back and haunt the place. It's freaking huge. You guys can catch this image actually online. You can check it out on YouTube actually. It's called Paranormal Investigations Ireland claim to have captured. You'll pop right up. This image is quite unsettling, and I want you guys to check that one out for sure. Speaking of checking things out, my goodness, you know, the Loch Ness Monster has been on this show that many times I can hardly pay him tree fitting. But the reality of it is the Loch Ness Monster mystery could finally be solved as the water levels drop to the lowest ever. I guess global warming ain't all bad. Experts believe that with water levels in Loch Ness currently at their lowest ever level, we may finally be able to solve the legendary mystery over Nessie's existence. The mystery of the Loch Ness Monster could finally be solved because as the water level in the Scottish Lake drops to its lowest ever level, experts have said, over the years there have been various alleged sightings of Nessie, which the creature is affectionately known as, of course. Enormous creatures believed to live in Loch Ness near Inverness, Scotland, with 7 official sightings having been recorded so far this year alone. Yeah, that's right. We're talking 2021. Now, back in 2020, there was 13 confirmed sightings of the mythical monster, and now they're on the rise, man. There's already been sightings here this year, and now the RNLI are reporting that water levels are low, like the lowest ever recorded in the loch. So it's kind of a common sense no-brainer. Dry conditions have led to a great opportunity to solve the mystery, according to one expert, like you would. Now it might be a little easier to get in there and check out things. If it carries on like this, we will have the Nessie mystery solved. The Met Office says some parts of Scotland have received less than a third of the normal June rainfall this year, which is quite concerning. Anyhow, let's just hope that this doesn't damage the actual ecosystems over there. But yeah, I gotta admit though, it's pretty interesting. You know, you suddenly drain the loch halfway through and there's, less places to hide, less things down, less food too. Man, I wonder if we're ever going to figure this one out. And if we do, will it be with a body or not? Anyhow, let's move on to our next story. Official government UFO report has revealed U.S. are completely in the dark and have no idea about 143 mystery sightings in the air since 2004. This is huge. This is probably one of the biggest thing for the UFO phenomena that's happening in a very long time. A long-awaited official report commissioned by the U.S. government into unidentified flying objects has revealed that the country's intelligence community has no explanation for 143 sightings and cannot rule out aliens. The long-awaited report from the Pentagon reports on UFOs and has seen the U.S. military has no explanation for the 143 sightings over 17 years and cannot rule out extraterrestrial involvement. Think that one over for a second, guys. These guys and gals can't even figure it out. They got no idea. So the bombshell study, of course, ordered by Congress just before President Trump was booted out of office, documented 11 UAP near misses reported by pilots and a small number of cases in which military aircraft process radio frequency energy associated with UAP sightings. What does that mean? Well, UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena and is the new term coined by the task force, seeming to avoid the word UFO. Most reports also described objects that interrupted training or other U.S. military exercises. It stated the following. A task force set up to investigate what exactly was going on focused on phenomena witnessed firsthand by military aviators, with 80 reports involving detection with multiple sensors, not just their eyes. The report said most were from the past few years, so it's ramping up. The report established 5 potential explanatory categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or American industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, and a catch-all other category. Well, I guess ET phone home must be in that frickin' category. A senior official said the findings did not provide any clear indications that the UAP are part of a foreign intelligence collection program or a major technological advancement by a potential adversary. Because the first thing we're thinking about is war, right? The report marked a turn point for the U.S. government after the military spent decades deflecting, debunking, and even discrediting observations of unidentified flying objects and flying saucers back as far as the 40s. The report includes some UAP cases that previously came to light in the Pentagon's release of video from naval aviators showing enigmatic aircraft off the U.S. East Coast and West Coasts. All but one of the listing sightings, an instance attributed to a large deflating balloon, remain unexplained, subject to further analysis, the report said. For the other 143 cases, the report found that too little data exists to conclude whether they represent some exotic aerial system developed by the U.S. government or a commercial entity, or even by a foreign power such as China or Russia. In some observations, UAP appeared to exhibit unusual patterns or flight characteristics, but those may stem from sensor glitches or witness misperceptions and require additional rigorous analysis, the report said. But the bottom line is that, well, the UFO phenomena truly is a UFO phenomena now. 143 documented on video, other sensor stuff. It's there, but guess what? There's not enough evidence to say it's not from here. Oh my God. Like, it's right under their noses. How could they not think there's UFOs? How could they not think it's something coming to visit us? And one of the theories that I love is the fact that maybe it isn't not us. Maybe it's just us from the future visiting us. Time travel? Come on, get with it, man. What do you guys think? You think the UFO phenomenon is the real deal? Or do you think there's just some kind of old stuff people made up? Personally, I think there's something to a lot of it. 143 documented cases. Nobody knows what they are. All they do know is that they're not, from here. I mean, duh. Where are they from? Well, I can't really expect science to explain everything. I mean, for the love of God. We only just found another one of our ancestors. One of the most laughable things in anthropology that's ever been talked about is the fact that we have a missing link. Dude, we have thousands of missing links. And guess what? We may have found another one. And this guy kind of looks like Bigfoot. So I thought it'd be interesting to mention this little scientific discovery that was made just this last week. Prehistoric human, 130,000 years old, and unknown to science previously, was unearthed in Israel. Nesher Ramlo Homo had very large teeth and no chin, and groundbreaking findings suggest they may have interbred with modern Homo sapiens tens of thousands of years ago. Researchers at Tel Aviv University and Hebrew University announced their discovery on Thursday as their extraordinary findings appeared in the prestigious academic journal Science. These mysterious humans were ancestors of the Neanderthals and may have intermarried with Homo sapiens. That's the worst thing they could have done, was get married. Wait a second. Intermarried? What? They got married back then? I'm so confused. Oh, you mean married as in sex. Oh, okay. You just pictured two Neanderthals. Do you, Ugg, take Chug to be your lawfully wedded husband? Ugg. And do you, Chug, take Ugg to be your lawfully wedded husband? Ah. I now pronounce you caveman and caveman. You may now club each other to death. Tens of thousands of years ago, this area resembled an African savanna, where they found it, teeming with wildlife, and ideal for ancient hunter-gatherers, such as this species. The researchers found that the Big Dig site is filled with many animal bones, stone tools for making fire and butchering, and human bones, including skulls. These early humans had very large teeth and no chin, and may have interbred with modern Homo sapiens. The findings suggest the discovery of new type of Homo is of great scientific importance, said Israel Hershkovitz of Tel Aviv University, one of the leaders of the team that analyzed those remains. It enables us to make new sense of previously found human fossils, add another piece to the puzzle of human evolution, and understand the migrations of humans in the old world. What I just think is just incredible is that there has been a rendering picture of this thing, okay? And when you look at it, it has no chin, huge brow, super hairy. Like, if I seen this in the woods, I'm sorry, man, but I'm saying this is Bigfoot. Like, I think we figured Bigfoot out. Interesting. Oh, my. You know, it just wouldn't be a paranormal news without a little bit of local paranormal news from right here in good old St. John's, Newfoundland. And really, this one's headed more out towards the CBS area, Conception Bay South. There's been some reports of a ghost on the Veterans Highway. And this has been coming in fast and furious. This time last year, same thing. This time 2 years ago, same thing. I'm starting to think this is a residual haunting, and it's happening really around this time in June, early July. So if you're in St. John's, Newfoundland, and you get a chance to drive out the CBS Conception Bay South off the TCH, Trans-Canada Highway, okay, get out there, get kind of close to where, you know, the actual road is to go down into Conception Bay South, right? The Veterans Way. Get out there on that and go check it out. It's definitely been documented by quite a few people. One thing in particular that blows me away is they're saying a white sweater, and it looks like a guy. Slender build, and got his hoodie kind of tucked up, walking towards the bridge. So get you guys, nighttime peepers on and have a little look out there. You never know. You might see the ghost of the Veterans Highway right on the way to Conception Bay South here in St. John's. Guys, we've had really, really interesting paranormal news for the month of July 2021. That's for darn well sure. One of my favorite stories of all this was the first one, really. That Irish paranormal hunt team, man. Those Ghostbusters, they caught the image of a famous ghost. We had Nessie, whose home is kind of getting drained like a waterbed. I feel bad for her. Nessie, we need to get you a flotation device because the water's getting too low here. I don't want you to have to scrape your belly. Got a nice floaty here for you, Nessie. Guess how much it's going to cost? About $350. Yeah, you got it. Official government documentation. 143 unexplained flying, or UAP they call them, but we call them UFOs. I mean, you pretty much told us UFOs exist this month. Like, come on. And last but certainly not least, we had a prehistoric human, 130,000 years old, baby. And unknown to science unearthed in Israel, which is so cool. He looks just like Bigfoot. And the ghost of the Veterans Highway heading towards Conception Bay South. All these stories have been odd to Newfoundland.